We're going to show you how you can crack question in Python exam, right? So you imagine this is your exam question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may have to solve all these questions in your exam. How would you crack? How would you attempt those questions? Okay, so there are two learning outcomes from this lecture. One, you learn how to crack exam question, and the second, you learn the code to do that question. So let's start out with the first question. Okay, so the write a program that take input. So this is basically input from the user for what? For x and y. So you have to use an input for x and y. X is equal to, so let's do this one first, and then we assign a value y which is 100 if, and that's a condition, if it is x is greater than 5. So that's another statement, right? So there's two statements here because you need to do two statements for this one. One statement under if condition, and this is your if condition here. I will put that in red, if condition. Okay, and then at the end of the program you do the multiplication of x and y, and perhaps I would say print it. Okay, do the multiplication of x and y, okay, like this, and then you print it. That would be the final statement. That's why I'm going to put it as green. All right, green. Okay, there's no significance to this color green or red. I just want to make it look different. So now you got how many statements you have to do. So this is how you plan your question when you get in the exam. And the next thing you do is you start programming. The first one first. What is the first one? Take two numbers from the user into x and y. So you know how to code Python, right? This is how you do it. Okay, input, enter first value, and I have already on my Python channel explained how to use this input. Enter first value or enter x value. Okay, and you could always do a bit of quick programming by copy pasting because it comes handy here, and you could put y here and also put y here. So now we are done with this. Take two values. So we can make it green. We can make it not green, blue. We can make it blue because it's done. Then assign this statement if this is greater than 5. So if value of x is greater than 5, then you say y is equal to 100. It says assign 100 to y if x is greater than 5. So you need to put for x. You say if x is greater than 5, right? X is greater than 5, or no, x, if x is greater than 5, okay, colon, what are you supposed to do? Y is equal to 100. You assign y 100 to y. That's it. You see here, you're done with this one. See here, if x is greater than 5, assign 100 to y. Another way of saying assign 100 to y if x is greater than 5. We're done with this one as well, so we're going to do it blue. Okay, and then at the end of the program, print the I would have to say this, right? At the end of the program, print the multiplication. Print the multiplication of x and y. That's a simple statement. You can directly use print command. You don't have to do anything. You can just do print command. Okay, like this, print x times y. That's it. End of story. Right? Now if you run this program, it is doing what it's supposed to do. All right. Okay, sometimes what happens is the online GDB, it gets slower. So best way to deal with this one is copy this one or cut this one, again reload it, which is not reloading due to some reason. Always use your teacher's phone for your learning, which is available free, Wi-Fi. Oh god. Okay, good. We're good now. All right. Okay, so we copy paste that one and we go in there. Here we go. Bingo. So we say, let's say, enter the first value, 5. What is the second value? 6. Now what is the condition? If x is greater than 5. Is x greater than 5? No. So it will not set it to 100. It will simply print multiply 6 by 5 and result would be 30. Here you go, 30, right? Now if you run it again, and this time we make x greater than 5. So we say 3 and x is greater than 5, which is 6. Okay. Now because it's greater than 5, so you set the value of y to 100. And if the value of y is set to 100, x is already 6. Okay. X is 3. So what will be the result? 3 times 100? 300. Does it make sense? Yes? Look at this. Okay. All right. Look at this. This is x is greater than 5. What did we put into x? This is x is 3. By the way, x is not greater than 5. It's still 3. And y is 6. So it will still do 6 times 3, because it will not do this, because it will only do this when x is greater than 5. So let's do this again. Oh, 6 times 3, 18. Fine. This time we make sure x is greater than 5. So we say 18. X is 10. Okay. 10 is greater than 5?
Yes.
Okay. And then we say y is equal to maybe 6. Okay. Now it will set y to 100 because x is greater than 5. So y, I will put 6, but it set to 100, so that becomes 100. So 100 times 10 is 1000. That's why I printed 1000. So we're done with this question. Because we need to move on to the next question. Next question is, take an input from the user and ask their marks in quiz 1, right? And I'm sure everybody will be happy to give those marks if you scored good. And write a program that decreases the marks by 20. If somebody got too much marks, the program should decrease it by 20. Don't ask me why, all right? Because there's no logic to it. So it's just we're trying to learn the program. So if the score is between 80 and 100, if somebody scored between 80 and 100, the marks should be decreased by 20, right? That's the program. And print the marks. So let's crack this one. The first one is take input from the user to ask their marks. So that's the input command, right? So make it red, okay? And write a program to decrease the marks by 20. That's a statement. I'm going to make it green. I'm going to make all the statements green, all right? There's a if condition. If that is between 100. Now, one word you must understand: between. Between. And if the score is between. Now, what does between mean? Between mean when you put a if condition, you cannot include 80 and 100. Right, to me? Well, what can you include then? 81 to 99, exactly. Right? All right. So next one would be print the marks. Finally, print the marks. All right? You have to print the marks. So here we go. Oh no. Here we go. So let's do one by one. So what was the first thing we need to make a blue? We need to make blue. Take the input from the user and ask the quiz mark. So we say, we say print. Right? We print. Enter the marks for your quiz, and it doesn't cost to be polite, so we can put please there. Always put please, right? Because it's good to be polite. Please enter the marks for your quiz. Quiz or quiz? Okay, right. Now, when the guy enters the marks for the quiz, what do we do next? We go there, and this is done, right? This is. So we make it blue. Write a program to decrease. This is a statement. If the score is between this, right? We need to put this statement now. Okay. So what was that statement? Can you tell me? If. Oh, not print. Sorry. What am I doing? We are asking the marks from the user, right? Yeah. Marks is equal to input integer. And I don't know. I think I had a bit of a long day yesterday, so a bit tired maybe. That's why I'm losing it. Now it's okay, right? Okay. Tamim, you were sleeping too, so you should have told me that one. I'm making a mistake. Okay, so marks is equal to input. Now we get the marks and we put a condition if marks is what? Greater than 81, 80, greater than what? Greater than 80 and marks less than 100. Now tell me something. Is it a between now? Greater than 20, yeah, greater than 20 and less than 100. Yeah? That is a between to me, right? It not include 80, it not include 100, it will only include, and because we need AND, the AND is already in the question, so there's no doubt about it, you have to use AND, right? So now we can mark this statement as well blue because we're done with it, right? Now coming back to the thing again, next thing we need to do is we need to do what? What we're supposed to do? Print decrease marks by 20, wasn't it? Yeah, remember that? Decrease marks by 20 if that is true, right? Okay, and then obviously you have to put this one here like this. Go back in there, check that out. Oh, we can mark this one blue as well now, can't we? Decrease the marks by 20. Finally, print it, and I can mark it blue and print it here, right? So what do? A print. Okay, print what? Marks. Okay. Now, one thing you see, this is a if condition, and you did this decrease and you did a bit of a indentation there, like you put a tab. Why? Because if you don't put a tab, it will not come under if condition. And because you're doing print without a tab, that means that is not part of the if. It doesn't come under if. It will print it either way, either whatever the marks are. So it will print the marks. So let's run this and check this out. So enter the marks for the quiz. So if we enter, let's say 70, it will print 70 because it will not decrease our marks. No? Yes? But if we enter anything between 80 and 100, which could be 82, yes. In this case, it will decrease it by 20. So if you decrease 82 by 20, what will be the result? 62. Well done. 62. Here we go. Well done. Yeah. So now we can move on. So you understood this question? Yes. Here are 20 marks got out of whatever the marks are there, 50 I guess. 10 marks for each question, right? Now let's move on to the next one. Write a program that takes a value and print if it is even or odd. Now that is the thing that you haven't done before, right? Even and odd. So you need to write a program that takes a value, which means input, right? This is input. Takes a value is what? Input command, right? Let's crack this one as well. Read, print if it is even or odd. So this is even or odd, you have to print that one, right? I always make it green when it's a statement. And if condition, I'll make it again red. Now, the question doesn't tell us when it will be even or when it will be odd. That's a logical question, right? So you could do this by simply putting a logic to it. So what will be the logic? I'll explain you the logic. If the remainder, if you divide something by 2 and the remainder is equal to 0, that is even. Yeah, so we'll go by this logic, and first let's take the value, all right? Let's take the value first. We'll get rid of this one, and we say number n is equal to input. First we do integer, right? And then we're going to do input. What we're supposed to say? Please enter a number. Shall we write please? Okay, maybe we should write please. Please enter a number, right? Here we go. Now, what we do, if number is even, how do number is even? Percentage 2. What is this? Do you remember that, guys? The percentage sign? Do you remember the percentage sign? Guys, this percentage sign, do you remember that? If number %2 is equal 0, mean you divide remainder, percentage sign is remainder. So n remainder 2 if is equal to 0, if you divide n by 2 and remainder, this statement means n percentage 2 mean if you divide n by 2 and remainder is equal to 0, that's how you write it, remainder, I get it. Then what are you supposed to print? What are you supposed to print? The number is even or odd? Even, because the remainder is 0. And then second would be simple. If it's not 0, that is odd, right? That is odd. So you just print number is The number is odd. Got that one? Right? Okay. Now we got two numbers here, even and odd, and that's how we do it. So let's run this program and see if it works or not. Alright, we got an error. Guys, help me fix these errors. This one. Okay. Anything else you think is an error? I don't think so. So if we say 15, what do you think 15 is, even or odd? Divided by 2, remainder is equal to 1, so it's going to go into the second part, else, which is odd. So you can say odd. Here we go. The number is odd, right? Got that one? Was it good? Easy to follow?
In the exam, do I just write the input, this is the answer?
In the exam, you do what you are asked to do. Okay? You may be asked differently. So what you have to do in the exam, crack the question first, the way I'm doing it. Right? Try and find out what the question is asking you. More often we make mistake, we rush through solving the question. We don't crack it. Right? So how do you crack a question? You first understand, step by step, break it down into the parts, and then you do the solve it. So you know you haven't missed anything. That's the way, and that's the key to get full mark. So you don't miss out a single thing.
Okay,
So
I put, if I'm writing pen and I forget, for example, like the $2.
or you get an error. You lose some marks for it, not full marks. Yeah, that's a syntax error. Right. Okay. Now let's go back to the question number 4. Question number 4 said, write a program to take an input from user for A and B and print values are high if sum of x and y is between this. Again, first take an input. That's what is for input value for both A and B. Okay, we can crack it, right? Red, print, that's a green for me because that's a statement. I'm gonna print. Okay, if that's a condition, if sum of x and y is between. Now I have to do sum first, right? First I have to do what? Sum. That's the statement I have to write. I put a green, and then I put if condition as red. So I have to do sum as well before I can put if condition, or I can do within the if condition sum. It's between. That's condition, right? That's condition. So now I crack the question. I know what I need to do, right? So I do it one by one. First take the input from user A and B. Let's do this one. First input from the user into A and B. Okay. How do I do that? A, and I say integer. Okay. I don't have to do this. I can just put integer. And I say like this, and I say input. Okay. And inside the input, I do another one, and I say please enter value for A. Okay, and the same thing I do again, and I print it here, and this time I do it for B, and here I say value for B, and this will take care of the first part. What is the first part? Take input from user for A and B. What is the second part? Print value are high if sum. Now we need to put an if condition first and then print values are high. If sum of x plus y is between 100 and 50 and 100. Now between means greater than 50 and less than 100. That's between, right? Okay, if it says from, that means greater than or equal to. But it's not saying from, it's saying between. So now let's go there and put an if condition. If sum. What is the sum of A and B? A plus B, that's a sum. Okay, is greater than what then? Yeah, greater than 50. Yeah, and it already said and here. You see, and here is the and. So you can put and operator there. And sum of A and B is less than what? Is less than what? 100. Right? And then what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to print. What are you supposed to print? Remember that green thing? Values are high. High. Okay, I'll put an explanation mark there from my side. Just to stress high. Okay. Now let's go back there. Run this one. Okay. So we got an error. What is the error? Oh, here you didn't put a colon. You're supposed to put a colon here, like this. Okay. Now it would be okay. Okay, now give me a value. Let's first do small values. Those sums are not between 100 and 100 and we get 10 and 10, which is 20. We're not between 100 and 50 and 100, right? So it will not print anything, right? It will not say, oh, values are high. When are you supposed to say values are high? When you have a value, well, let's say you say 30 and the next one is 40. Now 30 and 40 sum is between 50 and 100. So it will say values are high. Here you go, values are high. So this way we cracked this question as well, right? Question number 4. So we can make it blue, right? We can make it blue. We can make that one blue. So this is like 40 marks already taken, right? And then you get the final question, which is doing this one. Now that's a bit tricky, isn't it? Now this one is easier to crack, because all you have to do is take input from the user. Okay, this means the value has been taken by the user. Okay, and I always do the red, this one. And then show the following messages based on if-else statement. So you need to use if-else statement, right? And what are your conditions? These are your conditions. If it is this, from this to this, then show print what? Very hot. Let's crack this one, right? And I'll always do print with a green. This is also print, okay, hot, if the value is from. Now one thing you notice, this is not between. This time it is from, and this way you can do the rest as well. So first thing I need to do is take the temperature value, right? Let's make it blue, because we're done with this one already. So we go back and take the temperature, and that would be temp, temperature, temp for temperature, right? I can put any name as it pleases me for the variable, right? I can even call it my variable Tamim as well. No, but because Tamim will be confused with temperature, because you don't name your variable as somebody's name, right? So that's why you gotta keep it close to the reality, and because it's a temperature, we got it temp, right? Okay, so this one would be, please, no harm being a bit polite, please enter the temperature. Okay, and that's not human, that's like weather temperature, right? Not your temperature when you're really angry. Okay, this is the temperature of the weather. So if you got the temperature now, what is next then? Oh, you need to put if condition, if else statement. So what is the first statement? Very hot, print this from 40 to what? 59. So what would that be? If temperature, you can put this bracket, or you don't need this bracket, either way it's okay. Temperature is greater than or equal, you can say greater than or equal to 50. You can say that, right? Because it is says from.
Can we put between 39 and I don't know what 39, because 39 is not included.
Yeah, 39 is not included. Then you say greater than 39. If you want to say, but I want to keep it 40, right? I want to keep it 40.
We use between.
Between, yeah, if you say between, then it will be 41 and 58. But it's not between, it's from. From means you have to say greater than or equal to 40. Greater, not 50 by the way, it's 40. And what? And temp is less than or equal to 59, because you got to include 59, right? So less than or equal to 59. And if that is the case, what are you supposed to say? Print. Is that very hard for you? Very hard, right? Okay. And okay, what is the next one then? Next one is Aleph. This time you're going to do Aleph, right? Not if. What is that? Temp is, go to the second statement, that will be Aleph. Hot from 30 to 39. So Aleph temp is greater than, because you say from 30, so we'll say greater than or equal to 30. And temp is less than or equal to 39. So what are we supposed to do? Print hot. That's maybe hard for some, right? Yeah, you can't sunbathe in this temperature, it'll burn you, right? So what is the next one then? Aleph temp is, what is the next one? Oh, good, from, this is the condition, 20 to 29. So temp is, yeah, guide me, greater than or equal to 20, and temp is less than or equal to 29. And then what are you supposed to do? print. Good. Okay. Elif temp is greater than equal to, what is that? Oh, that's 10 to 19. Right? 10 and I picked this one up from the top one, so I'm gonna give that back. Okay, and temp is less than equal to 19. Okay, what would happen then in this case? Oh, little chilly, right? Yeah, little chilly. Do you agree? Yeah. Okay, good. Next one is, what next then? We say cold. Cold is from 0 to 9. That is cold, isn't it? I mean, that's when you need a geyser on before you have a shower. It's greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, and temp is less than or equal to what? 9. Was it 9? Yeah, okay. Now we got a 9 here. And finally, one thing you need to, why keep saying 9 here? Okay.
Cold.
Okay. Finally, and that's supposed to print what then?
Cold.
It's supposed to say cold. All right, okay. Else, what is supposed to say else? Oh, by the way, we got a few errors. We'll correct those errors. I mean, those are this. You're supposed to put this at the end of everything, right? Everything you do, you have to put this one if condition. So what is else? Else what is supposed to say? Yeah.
Less than 0.
Less than 0. Else, no, less than 0. Less than 0. It's supposed to say freezing actually, but it's okay. Whatever the question say, we have to correct the question. Freezing less than 0. Freezing. It's supposed to say freezing. I remember that. Freezing less than 0. Okay, that's what it's supposed to say. So this way, we have not only cracked the question, but we have done the question, right? So let's go up there and see if there is any error. One way to find out is just run it and see if there's an error. Oh, there's no error. Okay, so what temperature do you want to try out? Give me a number, guys.
50.
Okay, guys say 50, right? If 50 is what? Where it falls in? It comes here, check. 50 is between that, right?
Right.
So it will say very hot. Let's see. Very hot. Let's try another one. This time, Tamim.
Minus 10.
Minus 10. Minus 10 is less than 0, right?
Yes.
It's going to say freezing. This is going to come here, not here, not here, not here. It come here. Even not here. It will come here in else part because it's less than 0. Else part is going to be minus 10. Ooh, freezing less than 0, right? Bingo. Now, one thing you realize, if we say, let's say 70, temperature is 70, it will still come to here freezing, which it shouldn't actually. No. For example, if I say 70, okay, it's all freezing less than 0, which is wrong, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I could do is what I can do here is I can how do I solve this problem? Or maybe before.
From 59.
59.
No, but that's a question. That's a question.
40 and higher.
That's if I remove equal from here,
Yeah.
then I already remove this one. Then my question is wrong because my question says between from this to this. It should say very hot. But this problem I'm facing right now, that when I say 70, it still says freezing less than cold. How do I solve this problem?
Another L from.
Yeah, I have to put another if, and I say
From 60
L if.
to infinity.
This is not in the question, but I can put it, right?
Yeah.
But if in the exam you're not asked to do that, you don't have to do that, right?
Okay.
But you can do this one to say if temperature greater than, what's that? 59. Okay. Then print here. It's very hot. It's on fire. That's a good one. That's supposed to say it's on fire, right? Yeah. So this time if I do 70, right? Oh, no. Here, we need to put this one. If I do 70 this time,
Yeah.
so it will say it's on fire, right? But if I do minus 10, like last time, it will say it's freezing. Now it makes logically sense. Or if I say 20, it will still say good, right? 20 is good. Why? Because it's good here, this one, right? Okay, so this way we have cracked the final question as well, and we can make it blue. And this is how we get 100 out of 100 if we work logically without making any mistakes. So we did 5 questions. Thank you for listening.
Can you write 15?
Right, okay. Let me close this one. I don't know where to close this one here.